his wisdom with all of us. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
We are just tuning into the YouTube link.
Thank you, Vaniji and Vasu.
ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. Can you hear us?
Thank you, Vani and Vasuji. I'll start the YouTube talk.
Yes.
My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's session of spiritual bypass. So what is this spiritual bypass? What do you mean by spiritual bypass? We have heard of bypass surgery for the heart. We have heard of bypass roads. So bypass surgery means when the heart there is a block, the doctor will take a vein and put a surgery bypass. And when you go in the highway, there are bypass roads. When you go on the highway, there are bypass roads which will avoid the city traffic. So bypass in a way means avoiding certain path, certain direction. What is this spiritual bypass? Let me tell you one story. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. So let me tell you a story of Sri Ramana Maharshi. One day, one person comes to Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi and he tells Maharshi, I have a question for you. You always teach Jagat is Mithya, unreal. Ajativad, there is no creation. So Jagat being Mithya, Ajativada, there is no creation. Why should I do Shraddha? My departed ancestors, why should I perform rituals once I do every month, every year? I can save some money. And why should I do Sandhya Vandana every day? There's no point. All rituals are useless. Everything is Mithya, unreal. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi smiles and says, what happens to your house if the roof of the house collapses? So then the man says, thank you, Maharshi ji. Very much. I thank you very much. You just give me an advance warning. You are able to see the future. My house has become old and roof can collapse anytime. If roof collapses, all the family members will die. I will make sure that all the family members are gone, go to another place. You have saved them. Thank you very much. Ramana Maharshi says, what are you saying? Jagat is Mithya, unreal. The house is Mithya. The house roof falling on your family members is mithya. Family members are mithya. Why do you want to shift them? Everything is mithya, ajativada. Why do you want to shift them? Your understanding of mithya is not your direct experience. You heard from some Vedanta, some lectures. That's not your direct experience. Your understanding of ajativada is just a concept, not a reality. If ajativada is real for you, or Jagat Mithya is real for you, when the house collapses on your head, it just stay. Nothing happens because everything is Mithya. But now house collapsing is Satya for you, real for you. Your family members dying is real for you. So you are mixing up. You are understanding what you have heard from scriptures, what you have heard from lectures, with what I told. So you are living a split life, a hypocrite's life. Every day you eat food, that's Satya. It's not Mithya. If it's Mithya, why you eat food? You are applying Vedantic teaching selectively. Sandhyavandana I don't do, or Shraddha I won't do, but I will take care of my family members if house collapses. So something is real for you, something is unreal for you. You are using the Vedanta as an excuse to run away from your duties, responsibilities. In the process, you are destroying yourself. You are also discrediting Vedantic teaching. This is not fair. This is what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says. If Jagat Mithya is real for you, if Ajativada is real for you, then your behavior will be totally different. Even if the house roof collapses, even if the earth collapses, nothing will happen to you. You will not be disturbed. But you are not living the truth. The Vedanta has to be a living truth, not a conceptual understanding. So now, many of the teachings of spirituality we take, some of them are not our direct understanding, but we try to use them as an escape mechanism to avoid our responsibilities, to avoid our duties. In the process, we are causing damage to ourselves and damage to society. And we are bringing a bad reputation to the Vedanta. So this is called shortcut. This I call it as bypass. Now look at your own life. How many of you are taking the bypasses, spiritual bypasses? In what aspect of your life you are taking spiritual bypasses? Almost all of you have been listening to Vedanta, listening to Vedanta teaching for many years of your life. Is your understanding living experience or some understanding derived from books or listening to Shastras you are applying? Are you able to apply consistently? This is the question. This is the question of spiritual bypass. Human nature is very good in escaping from reality. Fight or flight is our nature. We have a strategy to face life in certain way. Is spirituality a escape route, escape mechanism for you? Or is it search for real truth, reality, truth? Are you living that reality? Let us understand the meaning of spiritual bypass. So life, journey of life has many ups and downs, many challenges. All of us are, in a sense, work in progress. We are developing ourselves. We are seeking ourselves. But many of us take a shortcut in terms of spiritual teachings. It's called spiritual bypass. So what is spiritual bypass? Self-realization is the purpose of spiritual journey. I want to know myself. Who am I? I want to realize my true nature. Self-realization. But in the process of self-realization, are we doing self-avoidance? Self means smaller self. As some aspect of me, I'm ignoring. So that I appear to be moving towards my spiritual destination, but in reality, I'm avoiding certain important aspects of my life. Spirituality and life's up and down. How are they related? Are they one and same? Is spiritual journey, life's up and down are in alignment? Or they are what? They are perpendicular to each other. They are in a orthogonal. They are in different directions. Spirituality is one direction, life is ups and downs is another direction. So many people we say material life and spiritual life are different. So we create a split, which is not there. There's only one reality. There are no two lives. Material life and spiritual life, there are no two lives. There's only one life called divine life. Where is the concept of two lives? Material life and spiritual life. So the moment you make life, material life and spiritual life, you split life into two. So what is spiritual bypass? Spiritual bypass is misusing spiritual ideas and practices to avoid facing challenges of life, to avoid unresolved issues in life, unresolved emotion issues in life, avoid psychological pains, and to avoid some of the areas which require development within us. Look at our own lives. Are we working towards self-realization, or in the process we are using spiritual bypass for self-avoidance to ignore certain parts of our life? Is path of truth, is seeking truth. How many truths we have? There's only one truth. There are no many truths. The one truth, one reality, we call a spiritual reality, appears as a material reality. There are no truths, material truth and spiritual truth. There's no two truths. Only one truth is there. Satyam or truth is only one. Spiritual truth we call as Paramarthika Satya, absolute reality, and material truth we call Vyavaharika Satya. Now, are there two truths? Paramarthika Satya and Vyavaharika Satya? Is the truth not one? Then what we mean by Jagat Mithya? The truth alone is appearing as the world. The appearance is not real, but what we are experiencing is truth only, Satyam only. So there is no Paramarthik Satya and Vyavaharik Satya. There is only Paramarthik Satya, always appearing as Vyavaharik Satya. So now, if I know Paramarthik Satya, Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya, Paramarthik Satya, how do I live my life? So that was the question asked to Ramana Maharshi. Do I stop Sandhya Vandanam? Do I stop taking care of my Shraddha, offering to ancestors? What do you mean by that? The Vyavaharika Satya, the present moment reality, we have to handle in this moment. This is the present moment reality. We cannot escape this present moment reality. The present moment reality, what's happening to you, you have to accept it. That instead of accepting present moment reality, we try to escape from the present moment reality. Accepting the present moment reality and responding to the present moment reality is Adhyatma, spiritual journey. Not running away from the present moment reality, not avoiding the present moment reality, not escaping from the present moment reality. Accepting the present moment reality as it is, then responding to the present moment reality instead of reacting to the present moment reality. Reaction always comes from the past or future. Response comes from the awareness. Are you living in the present moment reality with awareness? With absolute reality, Paramarthika Satya, I am Brahman, and Vyavaharik Satya, Sarvam Khalu Ida Brahma, are we able to live our life? We don't live our life in the present moment reality, whether you are realized or not realized. We live in the past or future, which is not real. The present moment is the only reality we have. It's mithya, means it's temporary. But you have to handle the present moment reality as it is, not run away from it, not react to it, not escape from it, not suppress it. But we are very good in escaping the present moment reality. We are very good in escaping from the present moment by various technologies, techniques. And what are those techniques? We bypass, there are a lot of bypass mechanisms. We have a lot of strategies for escaping the present moment. What are they? Eating, working, alcoholism, and many more. He came to me, he is overweight, fat. I asked him, why are you overweight? You don't do exercise? No, I am overweight. This is called bulimia. Bulimia is a psychological disorder. I have a lot of stress in my office. Whenever I am stressed, I eat something. So, stress, you're not handling it. You're not able to face the stress which is in the present moment. Instead of that, you're trying to avoid the stress, a bypass mechanism by eating. It's called bulimia. So another person came to me, another person, was taking drugs, very strong drugs. He said, I have read all the Vedanta. I've read all the Vedanta teachings. But I realized the world is unreal. But I have not seen the reality. By taking the drugs, I am trying to find that reality, and he has become a mental wreck. So taking drugs is also an escape mechanism. Some people say, I workaholic, workaholic, foodie. These are some of the mechanisms by which we avoid the present moment. There's other mechanism also. Gossip. Keep on talking. Keep on watching TV. Keep on watching what are the celebrities doing. Go on shopping. What is your escape mechanism? Each of us have a mechanism. We are all specialized. We have wonderful escape mechanism from reality. Do you have escape mechanism? Some people have pets. Some people read big, thick books. Some people read lot of scriptures. Are you living in the present moment reality? Are you living in the absolute reality? There's only one reality, Satyam. Inner and outer reality is only one, Paramatma. To avoid Paramatma, we always have lot of mechanisms. In fact, we say we are seekers of truth. In fact, in reality, we have lot of mechanisms to avoid the truth. All the time, how to avoid the truth, how to avoid the present moment reality. This is what our strategy is. When you say our strategy of the ego. Do you have a strategy? Which strategy is good works for you? Alcoholism, eating food, shopping, dressing, gossiping, blaming others. Can you identify what is your spiritual bypass? So, let me take for more detail, one by one example. See this person, how is his face? Very happy, smiling. But behind a smiling face mask, what is that? We don't know. A sad face, a disillusioned, a suffering. He is hiding his face because we want to show a nice face to the world. All of us put on a face when we interact with the world. So when we do spiritual bypassing, by having a two face, inner face and outer face, we become a split personality. Our consciousness gets split into two. The conscious me and unconscious me. So we live a split life. Conscious me and unconscious me. We don't live a real life. We start believing what is unconscious me as me. We start living the false me, which is unconscious, as real me. The real I is disappeared, not inside. The real I is the Atma, Paramatma. We are masking by living a double life. This is the first impact of spiritual bypassing. Let us take one more. Pain bypass. What you call pain bypass. Is in spiritual teaching we have heard. Many spiritual teachings are there. Look at this person who is lot of pain, lot of stabbing in the back. But he'll say, I am feeling good. I feel good. I am good. This person's house is burning. He says, good, think positive. So what we are trying to do, the many false spiritual teachings are there. One of the false spiritual teachings is think positive. It's a false teaching. So what happens in false teaching? Think positive is not a spiritual teaching. Think positive is a psychological counseling. Think positive is a good management technique. Spiritual teaching is the events in life either neither positive or negative. They are neutral. Witness the event and respond. Thinking positive doesn't solve the problem. Witnessing solves the problem, because in witnessing, you'll be able to respond in an appropriate way. When you think positively, you don't respond. You start working based on your past impressions, vasanas. First teaching of spiritual life is neither positive nor negative. Be neutral. Observe neutrally. Be a witness, a choiceless witness. Then appropriate response comes. The response is always in the present moment. What is the difference between thinking positively and response? Thinking positively comes from the mind, past recordings. Appropriate response comes from the awareness, moment to moment. So are you addicted to thinking positively? Is thinking positively your bypass mechanism? When you are able to witness a choiceless awareness, you will be able to find the real reason and right response for the moment. Thinking positively clutters our understanding of life for a proper response. I'm not saying think negatively also. Neither positive nor negative. Be a witness. Respond with awareness. What happens when you think positively? You avoid facing unresolved emotions. There's pain in life. The pain we try to say, think positively and try to suppress the pain. So think positively is actually a teaching of not acceptance of the present moment, not acceptance. The spiritual teaching is accept the present moment, surrender to the present moment. Thinking positively or resisting the present moment by superimposing your own ideas. So there's a positivity bypass. Think positively. That's called positivity bypass. What we do, we have thinking faculty called head and our feeling property called heart. Thinking properties, thinking faculty is required to look at the past data to arrive at what is reasonably do. What is the best thing to do at this moment? Our heart helps us to choose the right direction. The head and heart have to work together. In spiritual bypass, you are giving too much of importance to head. How to think positively, how to avoid the current situation, how to think positively. The heart takes a back seat. There are two paths for us. path of love and path of enquiry or reasoning. The path of head and path of heart. In path of heart is path of surrender, path of acceptance. So first, any situation in life, we should be able to accept as it is. That is called surrender or accepting the present moment. The heart says, okay, what is happening is okay. Everything is a part of the universal consciousness. Whatever favorable, unfavorable thing is happening, it's okay. Let me accept it. There's no resistance. This is called path of love. The moment you resist, you are creating a subject-object duality. So then path of head is reasoning. Here, we have to understand who am I? What is Atma? What is Anatma? What is self? Non-self. The non-self is my shadow, the body, mind, intellect, subconscious impressions. If I am able to separate out self from the non-self, my reasoning ability, thinking ability becomes very clear. Clarity of the intellect. If I don't resist the present moment, my heart becomes clear. Then head and heart are balanced. Then the decisions come for the response will come, not reaction will come. So, positivity bypass, we have to bring awareness into life. In awareness, heart accepts the present moment. Heart accepts the pain it is going through, emotional pain. So I see a person, I start getting deeper disturbance inside. So the first reaction is, I don't want this, I don't want this, I want to run away from this. So now, whom are you running away from? Are you running away from person or are you running away from yourself? There's uncomfort within you. You're trying to run away from yourself. That is your own self. Immediately you're splitting into two. One who wants to run away and one who is suffering. Can you embrace, accept the suffering part of you? Accept whatever pain is there. Accept the situation. Then your heart opens up. In that opening up, there is no resistance. There's no splitting of conscious me and unconscious me. Embrace your shadow. Embrace your lower self. Accept your lower self. That's the way of the heart. That's the way of love. The head should be used to understand, who am I? Atma, Anatma Viveka. Nitya, Anitya Viveka. Then what will happen? You are realize that I am the witness. I'm not affected. That I'm not affected by anything in life. So then your decision making will be crystal clear. The head and heart have to work together. The purity of the heart and the clarity of the intellect will be a balanced life. That is called Sthita Prajna. Is our life balanced? The moment any situation comes in life, we want to run away. Whom are we running away from? From a situation, from a person? In reality, we are running away from our own self. We have an uncomfort within me, anger within me, a pain in me based on the memory. Now, you are disowning a part of you. You are splitting yourself into two. The one me which says, I want to run away, save myself. The other me from whom you are running away, not from the outer person. You're running away from your own self, which is suffering. When you split yourself into conscious me and subconscious me, how can your life be joyful, peaceful? Positivity, bypass in spirituality, it can be solved by only bringing the awareness. love. Path of love for acceptance and clarity for bringing in the clarity of the head, intellect, clarity of the intellect and purity of the heart will bring a lot of awareness in your life in handling the present moment. Then you won't feel split personality. If you are a split personality, how can you be whole? We have to be whole. What happens when I say Atma, Anatma Viveka, Nitya, Anitya Viveka? There, I am discarding the lower part as non-self. It's a shadow. Discarding shadow doesn't give you problem. But when you're trying to run away, you're not discarding shadow. You're not recognizing it as shadow. You're recognizing from reality of yourself. Do you understand the situation? Two situations. In one situation, I'm trying to run away because I am the Atma trying to run away from another part of me. I'm running away from my me, which is my part. It causes suffering. Whereas in case of Nitya, Anitya, Atma, Anatma Viveka, you are not running away. You are dissolving the problem because Anatma is not you. Anatma is not real. This comes from Viveka, discrimination. So Viveka, Nitya, Anitya Viveka, Atma, Anatma Viveka, and the love, bhakti. So in first one case, Sarvam Khalida Brahma, all this is Brahman. Love. In second case, I am the pure self, unattached. So both will bring moment to moment right response from in your life. The positivity bypass is gone. Oh, healing bypass, healing. We want a healing in life. What healing? There's a part in me which is suffering. Past memories, past regrets, past unfulfilled desires, future worries. Our human life has full of emotional disturbances, emotional changes. Now, in a false spiritual bypassing, what you do? Hey, all these things are kama, krodha, mada, matsara, moha, lobha, should not be there. So do you suppress them? So what spiritual speaking says? You have to feel love, peace, joy, flow. What we call as higher vibrations you have to feel, and lower vibrations, sadness, anger, you should drop. Is it possible to drop? It is possible to heal rather than drop. How can you heal? The healing happens with love. Healing, feeling is healing. With love, you can heal yourself. You cannot heal yourself by running away from yourself. If you think that you are running away from situation or a person, false. You are running away from a part of you which is suffering. That part has to be accepted, healed, integrated. That's called love. Acceptance. There's a pain, there's a burning in my heart. Accept it. Don't reject it. Become aware. So then, Nitya Anitya Viveka you apply. This part is Anatma, Mithya, Ashashwata. Then you're not running away from the problem. You're dissolving the problem. Dissolving is a solution. Acceptance is a solution. Love is a solution. So our healing has to happen. If you don't do that by spiritual bypassing, oh, we'll have to have a lot of devotion, lot of joy. So we are trying to do a spiritual bypass, a fake emotions. So then we have another bypass called God bypass or prayer bypass. So false surrender, rituals, blame it on God. So there are all the three or many more strategies we heard of. I met one person. He was going through a lot of what we call as business losses. Prabhuji, I believe in Bhagavan Krishna. I have surrendered my problems to him. I'm sure he will sort out my problems and business will be successful. So what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. It's so God will take care. What is meaning of surrender? Surrender means accepting the situation as it is without running away, without rejecting, without fighting internally. Then doing your best. Change what you can, accept what you can't. But many of us, in the name of surrendering to God, we abandon what we have to do. Imagine Arjuna. Krishna is sitting in the chariot. Oh Krishna, you are Bhagavan. You have shown me Vishwarupa. I surrender to you. You fight the war. Krishna says, my dear, this is not my war. It's your war. Your war for dharma. You have to fight. I can support you. So God can support us. Ultimately, we have to change what we can, accept what we can't. Then there are people who say, anything happening, I'm praying to God. Nothing wrong in praying to God. But you have to respond to the situation. You have to act. Is praying to God a escape mechanism, bypass mechanism for you? I've seen some people. Okay. I believe in God. So I have to take a decision. My son has to go to this college or that college. I don't know. Then they take two slips. Right? A, B. Then pick up on the slip. This is God has told me. So what you are trying to do here? You are trying to run away from your faculty of reasoning. Also a spiritual bypass mechanism. There are many other mechanisms by which you do. Ritual addiction. There are many people who are addicted to rituals. This puja, that puja, that puja, this temple, that temple. It's sort of escape mechanism for them. They try to convert spiritual journey into action, activity. They fill their life with activity. What is the difference between this workaholism and the spiritual activity? Oh, he's a great, he does spends all the time in puja. Good, he may be devotee. But has he evolved internally? Is there inner quality? I met a person very recently. He's considered as a very great devotee. Spends a lot of time in puja. But full of anger. His family members are afraid of his anger. Has there any internal changes happened? Are you taking rituals and activity as a substitute for inner development? Is this your spiritual bypass? They are like crutches. We don't want to work on our inner anger. We don't work on inner fear. We need a crutches outside. Is God a crutch for you? Is God a bypass, spiritual bypass for you? Is prayer a spiritual bypass for you? Please understand, I'm not speaking anything against God or I'm not speaking anything against prayer. You do it. But are we trying to avoid something in us, some development within us, avoiding some painful situation within us, avoiding our inner development for anger, fear, using crutch? That is spiritual bypass. So then we have another situation, spirituality bypass. We use spirituality, misuse spirituality. When we interact with people, we always say, hey, that person is not spiritual. He is as if he is a lower level specimen. So we develop a spiritual ego. That is a bypass mechanism. Spirituality means not developing a superiority ego. Spirituality means transcending the ego. Your philosophy is that, my philosophy is this. I am greater, I have a greater philosophy. Nothing wrong in your philosophy. Nothing wrong in that person's philosophy also. But have you applied the philosophy in your life? Are you able to transcend your limitation? Are you able to develop inner qualities, inner spiritual qualities? Or are you using your superiority of spiritual teachings as a crutch, as an ego booster? Then we have spirituality means reading too many scriptures. One person came to me, he said, Prabhuji, he is about 50 years old. I have read 32 scriptures. He can memorize 32 scriptures. Oh, very good. But I want to read 70 more scriptures. In my tradition, there are 120 scriptures which are written. I want to read them before I die. Spirituality is not accumulating more and more knowledge. Spirituality is about developing your inner quality, inner awareness. Study of scriptures, doing rituals, is it a crutch for you? Then another crutch is there. It's called spiritual guidance. Spiritual guidance, we are afraid to take decision. We don't want to take decision. We are trying to avoid taking decision. That's where we go for spiritual guidance. Somebody who is supposed to be guide, somebody who has a more specialized knowledge or more spiritual knowledge will go. I know at least 2-3 businessmen very closely. They invest money based on spiritual guidance given by somebody. Of course, the person who gives spiritual guidance has no business knowledge. He gives some guidance saying that some higher spirit, higher consciousness is operating through him. And they have come to level of bankruptcy. But still, they can't take a decision. A businessman requires an acumen. The spirituality is not a substitute for your reasoning ability. Viveka. Spiritual bypass. Then we go through what we call as Guru. Guru's guidance. Actually, we have an idea of a Guru. This much length of the beard, this much time in Himalayas, this type of dress, and this many miracles. We are trying to find a Guru based on our vasanas, samskaras. We are not trying to get rid of our vasana samskaras. We are actually trying to develop our vasana samskaras by finding the right type of Guru. Who will say, whatever you are doing is good. Is it not a bypass? Then there are other people who get stuck with the false teachings. They're not able to discriminate what is right teaching and false teaching. But they're afraid to come out. The fear. Them on teaching. Or in emotion investment keeps on teaching. Stuck. There's a Japanese guru who says, I am enlightened. And he says, at year 2000, the world will end. So many of his followers committed suicide with him. Is it not spiritual bypass? Bypassing your reasoning ability. Then another thing we do, blaming others. When we interact with people or interact with situation, we are not able to handle the situation. The problem is my inability to handle the situation. perfectly okay. I may not be qualified. But instead of that, we'll use spirituality. See, this spiritual quality is missing in that person. Because now we are knowledgeable. Which one? Oh, Shamadamati Diksha is not there in the person. That person has too much of ego. That much have too much of anger. That much of person has too much of selfishness. Blaming others. While spiritual journey involves evolving yourself. I'm not saying people are right or wrong. But do not try to find a fault in other person, other situation. Then you are avoiding your inner journey. You are avoiding your inner evolution. You may not don't want to interact with the person, forget it. But do not superimpose your spiritual ideas to make you feel I am better than that other person. Then another dangerous bypass is there. Many people think spiritual experience, I want to get experience, I want to get a wonderful experience. Experience after experience. From guru to guru, from ashram to ashram, they keep on searching. They'll go to various places to get better experience. I had a fantastic experience. I want to go to another experience. My dear sir, spirituality is not about experiences. Spirituality is about inner journey, inner qualities. Finally, spirituality is about equanimity, tita pradnatva. A good experience or bad experience, right experience or wrong experience, how equanimous you are. Have you developed your inner love and peace? That is spiritual journey. It's not about experiences. All experiences are temporary. Experiences expire. Every experience just comes and goes. Mithya. Are we running after experience? Then there is another called meditation bypass. So people think that meditation means becoming mind blank and thoughtless. It is not about that. It's a wisdom. People spend years and years. I'm meditating, I'm blissful, I'm peaceful. Not a single bit of wisdom has come in their way. Their wisdom has come in their head. It's called Jada Samadhi. People can sit for hours together with a blank mind. The wisdom is not there. Because dhyana or meditation comes after jnana. Jnana leads to dhyana. Jnana involves viveka, vairagya, discrimination, dispassion. Without that, we are trying to meditate and it becomes unconscious meditation, Jada Samadhi. These are all about spiritual bypasses. So, another thing is called karma bypass. Blaming on karma, purushartha, not understanding purushartha and parabdha, not taking responsibility for situations, karma yoga and karma roga. See, I know a person. The person is not able to face situation. He has a song for his life. It's like a theme song. Washing powder nirma, nan madit karma. So he has become fatalistic. Karma happens to me. I can't do anything. I cannot have any choice in life. That's the escape mechanism because you are not developing. You have to come to the present moment, accept the reality, respond. When you come to response, you are living in awareness. When you are running away from the situation, you are living in the mind. When you are fighting with the situation, you are in the mind. A response comes from awareness. So karma is there. What we call prarabdha and purushartha is not to make you passive. It is there to make you grow your inner strength, inner ability, and help you to become more and more aware, live in awareness. Karma is not your crutch. Karma is not your spiritual bypass. Karma is empowering you to discover your inner self, to live in awareness in the present moment, every moment. So karma, prarabdha karma is what happens to you. Purushartha is how you act or react. If you react, you are reacting from the mind. If you act, you are acting from the consciousness, awareness. The Purushartha can be with awareness or with the mind. The karma is there for helping you to evolve, not for blaming. So we try to avoid the situation by blaming on karma. No. Change what you can, accept what you can't. That's called Purushartha. Then another problem is there. If somebody is suffering, what to do? Yeah, is this karma? We want to, we could have helped, but we want to avoid the situation. Karma, we take it as spiritual bypass to avoid taking responsibility. Response comes from the awareness. Reaction comes from the mind. What is our crutch? Then we have another situation, karma yoga and karma yoga. The spiritual teaching is you have to do karma yoga, service, selfless service. Selfless service helps you to purify. Karma yoga is service. Karma yoga is with the expectation. That's what we do in life with selfishness. But when you convert karma yoga into karma yoga, start putting expectations, getting agitated, getting stressed out when you're doing it, then you have a spiritual bypass. You're taking up karma yoga for becoming free, but that has become a crutch for you to blame, to find fault. This is a bigger problem. I have so much of knowledge of Vedanta. Okay. I am working for enlightenment. One day I'll get enlightened. One day you are getting enlightened is a crutch. A spiritual bypass. It's called Vedanta bypass. You are the Atma. You are the Paramatma. You are the pure awareness. Your bondage and liberation are not real. The understanding of the Vedanta has to come into your life. It has to be applied in your life rather than waiting for a goal called enlightenment. The goal called enlightenment is actually somewhere in the future. The Vedanta teaching is already there. Past and future are not real. Then what are you trying to do? You are creating an enlightenment goal which is never possible because it's illusionary. Enlightenment is here and now. Am I able to live with the conviction of Vedantic teaching? Conviction and clarity. So then there is another bigger problem called monk and householder. Many people think that the spiritual teaching is for the monks because we see only a lot of monks doing spiritual teaching. I was conducting a class, Bhagavad Gita class in one place. Then people said, see, these are all not for us. These are only for monks. What is monk? Somebody was left samsara. The illusion that living samsara means going out and taking sannyasa is false. Because you cannot leave the world. Anywhere you have to be in the world. But the problem is the world is in your head. That is called samsara. So Sri Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita, Loke asmin dvida nishta pura prokta mayanaga jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yoginam. If you are able to do karma yoga, service, shravana mana nidhyasa, then you are sannyasi. But we have a concept of dress for sannyasa. No, if I was in ashram, I would have done a better spiritual practice. It's false. You are already in a grahastha ashrama. For grahastha ashrama, karma yoga and Atma Vichara is the path. Samsara, we think it's outside, it's inside our head. Then there's a concept of pravritti marga and nivritti marga. Typically in Vedanta, it's taught that nivritti means you become sannyasi, pravritti means you become you become a householder. It's not correct. Vratti means thought. Nivritti means thoughts have to come down. Pravritti means thoughts will keep on increasing. Vratti will increase. You have to look at your life. Are you creating more and more thoughts for yourself? The more and more thoughts for yourself, that's called pravritti. How do you do that? Going to the past or future. In the present moment, thoughts are very less. Living in the present moment, nivritti. Not becoming a monk. Then there's a bigger misconception. Mithya world. The world is mithya. I don't have to do anything. Then there's another conception. I'm enlightened. My dear, the mithya world is nothing but appearance of satya. There are no two realities. Absolute reality and vyavaharik, paramarthika satya and vyavaharik satya. There's only one satya. That satya I'm seeing as world. When you see yourself as the world, I am the world, how your life will be? Full of love and compassion. If you are filled with the I don't have to do anything, then the understanding seems to be somewhere missing, a spiritual bypass. Because Vedanta teaching says you are not a doer. You are not a doer doesn't mean you don't do. Do without doership. Act without doership. It's not an excuse for laziness. So I am enlightened becomes an excuse for laziness. The world is mithya becomes an excuse for laziness. Then another thing called yatra bypass. We go to yatras, holy places, Himalayas, okay, and looking for something. Yatras are very good. Nothing wrong in that. Trying to get. I went to the place, I had a fantastic experience. We are going for experience hunting. Inner evolution has happened. The spirituality is inner journey, it's not outer journey. Outer journey can help you. Nowadays, yatra has become, going to holy place become package too. Fly, visit, and come back. Yatra means yatanatraya. The three, adibhautika, adidevika, adhyatmika difficulties you have to face. Your inner vasanas and samskaras will come out. You have to be aware of that. The yatra is a spiritual journey. You become more and more aware of yourself. Earlier, imagine early days. For going to yatra, you go to a place, you don't have money, you walk many days, you take food from somebody, you are going to subject to a lot of difficulties, challenges. Then vasanas and samskaras will come. You become aware of your inner vasana and samskara. It's a spiritual evolution. Inner journey. Outer journey facilitates it. Then we go to holy place. The holy place is holy because of holy men. The people who can give wisdom. They are called tirthankaras. Tirtha means the place which purifies. Tirtham karoti tirtham karoti tirthankaraha. And then one who purifies the tirtha are the people who are wise people, who are near, staying near. Are we able to get some wisdom from them? Then what are we doing? It has become a holiday package, a tour. Of course, we feel very wonderful because we have gone to a new place and come back. Is it spiritual journey? Is it not a spiritual bypass? So, what we should do? First, we have to understand the spirituality is not about experiences. It's not accumulating more and more fantastic experiences. It's about bliss. Bliss means equanimity. Stita pradnatva. Dukeshu anudigmanaha, sukeshu vigataspraha, vitaraga bhayakrodha, stitaji munuchate. Not getting disturbed by any situation in life. All experiences are temporary. Even the greatest experience is temporary. All experiences expire. Experiences are good. Nothing wrong in that. But craving for experience, accumulating experience is not spirituality. It's about inner evolution, inner development. Becoming more aware. Love and peace and equanimity is spiritual journey. A person who is spiritual, he is inspired, full of energy, full of love. But we have a crutch called Vairagya. Vairagya is a bypass. Vairagya means, oh, a spiritual person has to Vairagya, dispassion. This is a, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. That's not Vairagya. Vairagya, raga means attraction. Raga includes dvesha. Attraction and repulsion, you are becoming free. That means presence and absence should not disturb you. We have a concept of Vairagya means negative. Hey, he has gone to spirituality, he has become Vairagi. Means he is running away from life. Nothing like that is called Vairagya. Vairagya means not getting affected by the presence and absence of something. So Vairagya is also crutch for you because I want to avoid this situation. It's uncomfortable. I want to avoid. I want to Vairagya. No, attachments are a problem because I want to run away. That's Desha. Raga and Desha, presence and absence should not affect you. I heard of a Swamiji. See, the Swamiji is very great. Why he is great? He is not attracted to gold. Oh, how do you know? See, he has to do everyday puja. And do puja, he has to put ornaments to God. He doesn't touch the gold. Then what will he do? He will ask the Shishyas to put the gold. He is great Vairagi. How is it Vairagya? Touching gold or not touching gold doesn't make a difference to you. It's called Vairagya. If I don't want to touch the gold, that means Desha is there, not Raga. You are not comparing Raga Desha. Then I can't touch my Shishya can touch it. Then Raga Desha can go transfer to him. That way, Vairagya also can be crutch. Dispassion also can be crutch. Write a spiritual diary. And they'll write this experience I had, this experience I had. My dear sir, experience is not, they are come and go. Good. Don't go after experiences. So, what you do? Is your fire coming down? Your Vairagya is increasing. Means emotional intensity, emotional disturbance in your life is coming down. Fire means frequency, intensity, recovery rate from emotional disturbances. Last year, I was getting angry for a week. Now I'm getting angry for a day. Good improvement is there. Now, compare yourself with yourself. Don't compare with somebody else. This is what you note in spiritual journey. Not experiences. My emotional conditions have improved. And don't feel bad about it. It's a gradual process. Emotional disturbance, you have to come down. It's called fire meter. So then, am I becoming more compassionate? Am I becoming more loving? Am I able to do selfless service? Karma yoga? Do I find joy in giving? Do I find joy in doing? This is what you have to note down daily, not spiritual experiences. Then equanimity counter. The enlightenment is called Sthitapadatva. Dukeshu anudigmana sukeshu vigataspraha vitaraga bhayakrodaha stitati munruchate. Not getting disturbed by what we call as disturbing situations, painful situations, not getting elated with joyful situations, attraction, repulsion, raga, dvesha, free from raga, dvesha, bhaya, krodha, fear and anxiety, I am free. That's called equanimity. So how equanimous you are, note down in spiritual diary. It's called Swadhyaya diary. So then spirituality is not about a blast. Oh, I bet big breakthrough. It has small breakthroughs. Small false beliefs you drop through. That's called insights. What are the insights you got about life, about the world, about the God, about your insight, self, or false beliefs got dropped? Note down that. That's called relief meter, viveka. Thought meter. So am I thinking too much? See, in a day, we have about 70,000 thoughts. So am I going to pravritti or nivritti? If you are going to pravritti, you will be always thinking about past and future. If you are going to nivritti, you are coming to present moment. Number of thoughts will be less. Thought meter. Live your life fully today in the present moment. Our life is only one day, today. Plan for 7 things. Because 7 things is a universal number. Psychologists have found if you plan for 7 things, your life will be blissful. Out of that, 5 personal needs. Everybody have personal need. 8 hours sleep is gone. Then we have 16 hours. Personal need of taking care of family, job, watching a TV, all those personal needs put together, 5 items. And 2 important, Atmano Mokshatam Jagadaya, self-realization and selfless service, whatever I can do, plan for a day, do it well, live your life fully for today. Out of these 7 items, 5 items are mandatory, is required for you. It's a spending. If you have 100 rupees, your monthly expense you have to spend 80 rupees, only 20 rupees you will be able to save. That means in a day, what time you spend for Atmano Mokshatam Jagadaya is a savings for you. It's for inner spiritual evolution. Rest of things are daily activities. Every day, go to sleep with a gratitude, having spent full day. Get up in the morning with a gratitude for having got a day to live. Then, what are the qualities, spiritual qualities I am developing in life? Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshata. These are the inner spiritual qualities. Am I developing it? This is what you note in spiritual diary. Let us close our eyes for a few minutes. Sit silently. Contemplate. Am I escaping from my reality of life? Am I working towards my self-realization or self-avoidance? What are the crutches I use to cover up my shortcomings? To escape the present moment reality? Past or future too much? Am I able to live my today 24 hours fully? Just be silent. Be aware of your breath. The breath is changing, but I am the witness of the breath, unchanging reality. I am the witness, Sakshi. Stay as witness. Tatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnad Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shivanannani Shivoham 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 Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satdarshanam Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara Jyotireva Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atma Jyotihi Shivosmiham Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Slowly open your eyes. Light of Self Foundation, Atma Jyoti Vishwagurukulam is recognized by Karnataka Sanskrit University. We are 26-year-old organization dedicated to self-realization in selfless service, Atma Mokshatam Jagataya. You are welcome to visit our website, YouTube channel, subscribe to that, and forward to the friends and relatives who may be interested. Namaste. Now, any questions from people on Google Meet? For people on Zoom, I'll come back for the questions. Right now, I'll answer questions from Google Meet. Swasuji, anybody on Google Meet? Questions? Can you hear me? Please. Can you hear me now? Vasuji? Harim Vasu, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Vasu? Yeah. Can you please, any questions are there? Was that clear? What is the question? Can you please ask again say, what is the question?
Whether any person, if there is any person free from raga and dvesha.
So we actually person whom we call as enlightened ones are free from raga and dvesha. That's what our spiritual journey is all about. Whether Sri Krishna, Ramana Maharshi, or any enlightened persons we speak of, is free from raga dvesha. That's called Sthita Pradna. The question is there anybody who is free from raga dvesha? Yes. That's what spiritual journey is all about. We call Sri Krishna or Ramana Maharshi or Shankaracharya enlightened beings. They are free from raga dvesha. That's why we call them as enlightened beings.
Can you guide us how to become a free from raga dvesha?
So that actually is what we call a spiritual journey. Who is asking this question? May I know your name?
Krishnamurti Malyavantam.
Krishnamurti ji. So this is what actually is called spiritual journey. This involves two parts. Atmano mokshartam, jagataya. Atmano mokshartam means self-realization. Jagataya means service. So Atmano mokshartam, you listen to Vedantic teachings called Shravana and contemplate manana and nididhyasa, meditate, and then do selfless service. This will help us become free. This is the approach of Vedanta.
I love your answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om. Anybody has
What I
any?
understood is right.
Yeah. Anybody else any questions?
Has any questions for Prabhuji?
We are aware of the various ways of avoidance that or bypass that we are following, that I am following. Then how to gather enough energy to come out of it?
So the question is, I am aware of bypasses I am following. Bypass I am doing. How to come out of that? So I gave the technique also. The technique I have given at the end. We have to become aware. First level is awareness. That's what Swadhyaya diary is all about. Start becoming aware of your unconscious. Don't try to do anything. Don't try to avoid. Don't try to run away. Okay? Awareness is first step. As you become aware, and as you continue Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa practices and Seva, you'll start becoming free. Awareness is important. Is there any other magical solution, Vaniji? If I had a magical solution, I would have definitely given.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hari Om. Anybody else has any questions? Was that useful?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We have had a lovely session from Prabhuji
Okay.
on bypass, karma bypass, Vedanta bypass. So many bypasses told, blaming people, pointing fingers at others. And one solution for everything is build awareness.
Become aware. Love and awareness.
Become aware. Become aware. So for this wonderful session,
Yeah.
practical and yet deep insightful session,
Namaste.
we are greatly thankful to Prabhuji, our pranams for this wonderful session of the wisdom. And as usual, our Pushpa-Vrishti chat.
Thank you. Namaste, Vani Ji, Vasuji. I'll log off from Google Meet. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Tomorrow we have
Okay. Any questions for people on Zoom? Was that useful? Spiritual bypass. Anything you have heard of this? Anything you practice every day?
Very attractive title, Prabhuji.
Does it make sense?
Yes, yes, it makes sense. But ಆದದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಉಳಿತೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ we have been told that from the beginning, no, Prabhuji.
That's where ಆದದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಿತೆ ಆಯಿತೆ perfectly all right. I'm saying that will help you to resist the present moment. What is happening in the present moment? See, there's a saying by Purnayoga.
Yeah.
ಆದದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಿತೆ ಆಯಿತು. That means what happens in our life, we don't have a control.
Okay.
Accept it as it is. Instead of resisting it, instead of blaming somebody, instead of running away from situation, accept it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Acceptance is what is being told there. Okay.
Sorry?
Acceptance is the main message there, actually.
Acceptance is the main message. It's not passive. It's not running away from situation. It's not resisting.
Okay.
Right?
Sorry.
So,
okay.
Anybody else any questions? Anita, Satyavati, Katyayani, ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಕುಮಾರ್.
ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊಸ ಹೆಸರುಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಗುರುಜಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಮೀಟರ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದಿರಿ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಡೈರಿ ಅವತ್ತಿಂದ ಒತ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಎಲ್ರ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ AVSC ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಡೈರಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗುರುಜಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಡೈರಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಡೈರಿನೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು.
Love, the purity of the heart and clarity of the intellect. Purity of heart is called love, clarity of intellect is called ಜ್ಞಾನ.
ಹೌದು.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಗುರುಜಿ, ನಾನು ಅನಿತಾ. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅವಲೋಕಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಆಯ್ತು ಗುರುಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಒಳ್ಳೆದಾಗ್ಲಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. So yes, Vasu, any questions? Yes, Vasu and Vaniji.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. bypass in the medical situation, bypass is useful. Here bypass is dangerous.
Bypass is what is keeping us from moving forward.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ನಾಟ್ ಟು ರನ್ ಅವೇ but to face the situation. We are using things as a crutch, everything as a crutch, bypass as a crutch. Several crutches we are using.
Lot of crutches.
ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಎರಡಲ್ಲ.
Hey, Jagat is mithya. What is there to do? It's an excuse for my laziness. It's karma. Let him suffer. I don't want to do anything. I'm lazy.
ನೀವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ಣಯೋಗನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀರಾ, ಇದು ಅಹಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಸ್ಮಿ is one part of realization. If you miss the second part, sarvam kalvidam brahma, and love is not there, then first becomes incomplete.
Yeah.
So,
love and awareness, bhakti and jnana
together. So ತುಂಬಾ
I
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ.
don't my way of understanding life. Okay.
It was very practical spirituality, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Very down to earth and very practical.
Okay, then Hari Om. Tomorrow is a Kannada class. Okay.